I used to think SnapMap was just a fun way to see where your friends were, something casual, harmless, but now I realize it opened a door I never meant to leave unlocked. I'm in 11th grade, and like everyone else in my school, I had Snapchat. Not having it basically meant social suicide. Even the loners in the back of the cafeteria had accounts. One of those kids was Zach. Zach had always been different, the type that made people shift in their seats when he walked by. Not mean, not loud, just unsettling. Nobody really knew him, but everybody sort of avoided him. We'd been in the same school since elementary, and I couldn't remember ever hearing him say a full sentence. So when I got a friend request from someone named Zach Meister, I instantly knew it was him. For some reason, maybe politeness, maybe curiosity, I added him back. Almost immediately, he sent me a snap, a picture, then a video. I let them sit unopened for hours. I thought maybe if I didn't show interest, he'd go away. But when I finally opened them, I wish I never had. The picture was of me sitting at our lunch table that afternoon. The video was worse. It started when the bell rang. Students around me stood up heading to class. The camera followed me, tracked me, zoomed in on me as I left the cafeteria. The caption under the video, "Cute lol." I should have blocked him right then. I almost did, but I didn't. That night I was scrolling through stories, watching Netflix, texting friends, normal stuff, when a message popped up from him. "You live on Mason Street, right?" I stared at the message, my heart weirdly heavy. I responded with a quick, "Yeah," not thinking much of it. His next message came instantly, and then another, and another. I didn't open them, but he kept sending more. And then came the photos. I turned off the TV, put my phone face down, and tried to sleep. The next morning was cold, too cold. I woke up shivering. That's when I noticed it. My bedroom window was wide open. So was the closet door. I never opened either of them. I sat up slowly, confusion giving way to something darker. Dread. I grabbed my phone. Over a dozen new snaps from Zach. With trembling hands, I opened them. First a sidewalk at night, then my house. Next my bedroom window. Then a photo of me taken through the window. Then one of him standing in my room. And finally, a picture of me in bed taken from inside the closet. I felt sick. The messages were worse. "Why don't you answer faster? I'm gonna visit you tonight, lol. You left your snap map on. I like watching people sleep. I hope you don't mind. I think you're cute. Are you awake yet?" I didn't respond. I didn't breathe. I just took screenshots at least of the chat. I was too late to save the photos. They vanished before I could get them. I blocked him. Called my parents in. My dad was the first to act. The police got involved. The school got involved. It all turned into a full-on investigation. Turns out Zach lived with his dad, a single alcoholic. Not much structure, not much oversight. The messages alone were enough for charges: juvenile breaking and entering, harassment, stalking. We never saw Zach again after that. Word is, they moved far away. Sometimes though, I still check my window and my closet, just in case. And I never ever turned SnapMap back on. You ever get that chill, like the air around you suddenly shifted? That's what happened the night he messaged me. It all started when I was deep into a game headset on, zoned out from the world. My phone buzzed just once. I ignored it. At first I figured it was just one of my friends sending a random snap, but when I died in the game I picked it up. The notification? From Alex. Now I don't remember adding him, but his snap score was visible so clearly at some point I had. Maybe he found my code from Instagram. Maybe I added him out of pity. Either way, Alex wasn't someone I ever wanted to talk to. You know the type. Every school has that one disturbed kid, the kind who doesn't just act weird but makes your skin crawl. Ours was Alex, same kid who once dropped a dead rat in someone's locker and called it a prank. Anyway, I opened his snap. It was a picture, super zoomed in. All I could make out was the metallic edge of a door handle, the lock mechanism specifically. The caption simply read, "Hello." That's when something felt wrong. Not funny, not random, just wrong. I stared at it for a second, then messaged him, "What is this supposed to mean?" No reply, just another snap. This time it was blurry, like it was taken from behind glass through a window. At first I couldn't tell what I was looking at, then my stomach twisted. It was my kitchen. The photo was taken from outside the house. I bolted from my room, heart racing. My hands were shaking. I rushed to the kitchen window, and there he was, standing on my deck, laughing. Alex was laughing. I sprinted around the house to the dining room and flung the door open. I was furious, ready to yell, but then I saw his arm. He was hiding something behind his back. I froze. In a low voice, I told him to leave. Right now. He just tilted his head like he was amused. Then slowly he brought his hand forward. A knife. He was holding a knife. I didn't wait. I slammed the door shut so hard the glass rattled, locked it instantly. My voice shook as I screamed through the door. "I'm calling the cops, get out of here!" He didn't run, he didn't argue, he just smiled and walked away, calm like it was all a game. I double-checked every door and window in the house that night 3 times, slept with a baseball bat beside my bed, never used SnapMap again. To this day, I don't know what he was planning to do, and I don't want to. This all started just 2 nights ago, and honestly, I haven't slept since. So yeah, I post a lot on Instagram. Nothing crazy, but I live pretty comfortably, and I guess it shows my Snapchat handles in my bio, so it's normal for random people to add me here and there. But that night felt different. It was storming cold rain slicing down outside. I was chilling at a friend's place when I got 2 notifications. 2 girls added me, one named Casey Welsh, the other Bree Owens. Their Bitmojis looked pretty standard, but their Snap scores, super low, one barely over 200, the other not even cracking 2,000. Still, I added them back. Curiosity, I guess. A few minutes later, Casey sent me a snap, just a pitch black screen with the caption, "You're cute." Something about it rubbed me the wrong way. I ignored it, then opened SnapMap and froze. Both girls had their location sharing on, and they weren't just nearby. They were together, sitting in a car just a few blocks from where I was. I told myself it was coincidence. I was probably overthinking it. The rain started getting heavier, and it was getting late, so I decided to head home. The highway was practically empty, just me and a blanket of fog. But after a few exits, a car pulled in behind me. No big deal until it stayed there. Mile after mile, always in my rearview mirror. When I turned off at my town's exit, the car did too. When I made the left down my street, it followed. I was sweating. My hands were cold on the steering wheel. I pulled into our driveway, shut off the engine, and sat there, heart pounding. That car? It crept by, slowed, and stopped right in front of our house. I panicked, snatched my phone, and opened SnapMap. Both pins, Casey and Bree, were now exactly over my house. That was it. I couldn't risk stepping out. Instead, I called our landline from my cell. My dad answered groggy. I whispered, then begged for him to come outside. I couldn't explain. Just come out. I saw the car reversing, inching closer to our driveway again. Then the porch lights snapped on. My dad opened the door. The moment he stepped out, the car took off. I bolted from the car, soaked in seconds, and ran straight to the door. My dad caught me in a hug, confused and worried. Then he asked, "Who were those men?" "Men?" I pulled away. "What do you mean? How do you know?" He said he saw at least 3 large men in that car, all staring right at him as they drove off. That night, sleep was impossible. Around 3 a.m., I heard something outside my window, leaves crunching, something or someone shifting the garbage bins. My window blinds were open and I knew someone was out there, but I couldn't look. Then I heard a voice, low, calm, right outside the glass. "I know you're up, don't move." It was my dad, or at least it sounded like my dad. For a moment I froze, unsure if I was dreaming. Then I heard movement inside, real footsteps. My dad whispered from behind my bed, "Don't look out, just wait, they're still out there." I didn't move. He watched through the blinds as the same car, the exact same one, pulled away slowly and disappeared down the street. We haven't slept since, and my dad's made it clear. If anything like that happens again, the cops are getting involved immediately. I'll update if anything else happens. That was another true story. If you're still watching, you're one of the brave ones. Most don't make it this far. Subscribe to Horror Stories and hit the bell because the next horror stories drop soon.